What's up, guys? Welcome back on the channel on this Sunday morning, evening, depending on where you're watching, where we are going to talk about Allegri being right. All along, he is right, and the numbers are kind of proving it. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're top of the league at this moment in time still, depending on what Napoli will do later. Inter will do against Napoli later on. That's, debatable. Let me know maybe in the comments where you think the result is going to be. But at this moment in time, he's top of the league and he's right. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before we do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's jump straight into it. Okay, so top of the league, competing. It's December still, competing, and we can say Allegri's right. Basically, the club is backing him. Giuntoli before the Monza game comes out and said, "I don't know what it is with names. We have our future plan with Allegri. Like we are not even thinking about potential names. All other names will be dismissed. He is the guy in charge. You have a big part of the media backing him, ex-trainers saying, look at his pedigree, even Galliani before the game, and saying, everything that's surrounding him, all the talks is just bullshit because look at what he's doing. Then you have also a lot of group of players, people saying, that the team is straight garbage, basically, and look what he's doing. And then you have a big part of the fan base saying, yes, but this is not sustainable. Credit. And then you also have people saying no credit, forget about it. I'm with the part where I'm like credit, but I don't think it's sustainable, and I have some issues with it. But at this moment in time, like I said after the game, we can criticize, like you can criticize him, but what's the point at this stage? And that goes for me as well because yes, like the football is awful, and yes, we suffer against good teams, bad teams, mid-table teams, really poor teams because we give them the ball and we get away with stuff. But at the end of the day, that's what he wants to do, and that's how he wants to win, and he's winning. So I cannot say he's wrong because that's his idea. That's what he thinks this club, these group of players can only do. He thinks it cannot be better. He thinks it cannot be achieved in a different way. And, well, the numbers back it up because he's doing it his way and he is getting the wins. He's getting the points. He's getting a tune out a big group of these players, maybe all of them, not in the way you and me would personally think it should be. And that goes for players like Chiesa, name it, name it, name it. However, at this moment in time, he's right. So, like, it would be very strange if Juntli comes out and says, "Yeah, let's see end of the season." No, like it's going well, so he's not gonna even entertain any talks or any. How do you want to say that? Put any sort of doubt on Allegri into the media and tell the fans, you know what, it's still iffy. That's just not gonna happen, and I fully get that at this moment in time. But we're top of the league. We are, well, if you need to believe the club, on pace to reach our goal, and that's finishing top four. If you look at the teams around you, if you look at Inter, Napoli, Milan, and then the tiers be below that, Lazio, whatever, Atalanta, Roma, there should be no issues with finishing top four. You should get into the top four without any issues whatsoever. And yes, I don't know how many points we are from Milan. If they win, it's back to 4 because of something like that. Like I get it. It's not extreme. You lose a game, they win a game extra. If they win, obviously on the weekend, and it's 1 point or whatever it is. Like it's close. I get that, but that's normal. Like it's December. Like it's very normal. It's very normal that it's all still close. That one result can change anything. It can be flip. It can flip really quickly. And this month things can flip. Now it's Napoli at home, and then you have Genoa away, Frosinone away, and Roma at home. Like it's tough. No easy games. I thought Monza personally would be much tougher, and in the end, you might say, "Oh, that's crazy. We won it with it." A last minute goal after conceding in the last minute. But overall, I thought it would be a much tougher game. Like we gave that game away almost by your own fault. Like that's why, not because Monza were great. However, if you play like this against Frosinone and Genoa, one of those games, or maybe two of those games, is just not going to happen, and you're going to drop points. And Napoli, for all their issues, they're still a good team. They still have quality, and they can still cause you issues. Same for Roma, and I say that because I think we're better than Roma. But the way we play, you always give an opponent a chance to get something out of it. At this moment in time, Allegri's right. They're not getting anything out of it. Inter maybe, a point, whatever. But my fear, and that's why I'm at a point where I'm like, credit, his way, it's working. Not a fan of it, personally. But my criticism is, two, I have a feeling that the players are not developing. Individual players are not developing, and that's a big issue because this feels like grinding and just hard working discipline rather than purely talent based. When I look at players like Chiesa, I don't see his talent the last couple of months. It feels like it's just a normal player. Vlahovic, some might say he's not talented at all. Fair, whatever. He looks really poor. Even when Keane comes off, he has that moment. Fine. Milik, I think he looks poor lately. I don't think he looks good, or like up to the level it should be. And then the talks about young talents, they're not playing. Like Junior's not playing, Yildiz not getting minutes, Huijsen is not getting minutes, Nicolucci's getting minutes because there's nobody else there. Miretti hasn't played the last couple of games. He played like half the minutes out of a potentially he could have got this season. So that's also quite like, yes, we talk about you and whatever, but we talk about Sule. He's not at the club as well. That's one. And also, I have a feeling this is going to stop at one point. It's just, call me skeptical, whatever, pessimistic. You can say whatever. It's just a feeling that this is going to come to an end at one point, and it's just going to look it's just going to be very deflating. Maybe not as much for me because I'm mentally prepared for it in terms of that's what I believe it's potentially going to happen. But for a lot of people, potentially that could be like, oh, why? All that buzz, all that for nothing. We do need quality in January. Like the club can say whatever they want. The club is not built in January. If you are entering January and you're still, I don't know, a few points above Inter or just 2 points, second away from Inter, at that point, the top four is the goal thing is good, but you're in a title race. You could be in a title race. You need to add something to that team. We need some creativity, players that can link the back line to the attack, even with the style of play we have, because now we don't have that. Like, we absolutely don't have that. We don't have a bridge gap. It's get that ball straight to the attackers, and if you give it to midfield, it's just going to go very slowly because, well, it's just because of the type of players we have in that team. So that's the next step. But at this moment in time, he's right, and I can give my opinion, but, if Allegri could have responded to what I said, he would say, well, my way is working. Look at the league table, and I would be an idiot saying, well, you're lying, it's not working, because it is working. It's just that it's based on feelings, what I'm saying. Like I had a feeling last season with that streak, I'm like, it's gonna kind of crash down, and it crashed down, burn, whatever, against Napoli when we got smacked 5-1, was it? That was just the most embarrassing thing I've seen in years, I don't think that's gonna happen to that extreme, but I just have a feeling at one point it's gonna halt, and at that point I'm like, okay, what now? Because you played a certain way, but the players are still not progressing. Like, I'm not seeing enough of improvements. But as of now, that's not happening. So I'm not saying I hope this happened. I hope we win like this every single week and we win the title, because I want to win the title, obviously. It's just a feeling I have. I'm very skeptical based on the last couple of seasons, But yeah, that's the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about Allegri being right. And like the video, subscribe, and join us later tonight live for a breakdown. Ciao.